It's a joke. We are here, one of the most important platforms, bar none, bringing you all these incredible minds, and we need to go to the next level and just basically continue what we're doing, but hopefully go to the next level here. And we need to hit that goal, and I think we're going to do it, but go to InfowarsMoneybomb.com, InfowarsMoneybomb.com, and, if you're watching this later on YouTube in a few days, the site will still be up there. We try to raise it all in one day, but hopefully we'll hit 500,000 by, next week when some more of the mail comes in. But we're at $322,000 right now, so we roughly need to raise about $178,000 dollars to be able to just continue basically what we're doing and finish the little studio so we can go to the next level against the globalists. So InfowarsMoneybomb.com or 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139. What hour are we into the live transmission here now? We can put that up on the screen. We're into hour number, I forget, hour number 21. We're going for 27 hours here, so only 6 hours left to try to get that in, and I really appreciate all of you for your support. Gerald, I don't want to hog you here, but any other trends in the fall issue, anything else you think just briefly is really important? Where do you see gold going? Again, where do you see this mortgage thing going?
We see gold going to 2,000 an ounce. Of course, it could go much higher. But we believe that before it goes higher than that, the government will take measures to stop it from rising or take it away from the people, as they have done before. So that's why we're putting the level on that. As far as the mortgage, it's just more of the collapse going on. They made the banks bigger with the too big to fails. They're running the country. Wall Street has hijacked Washington. Any adult could see it. And by the way, if you want to know how bad it is, remember the brilliant Larry Summers? You can never say his name without saying brilliant, either before, after, or in the middle. He was Obama's chief economic advisor. Well, that's another Obama rat that jumped ship. His brilliant strategy didn't work. And Christina Roma, the other brilliant one over there, that was his other economic advisor. That Obama rat jumped ship. Peter Orszag, that other brilliant economic guy, that's an Obama rat that jumped ship. Rahm Emanuel, the rat of rats, he's jumped ship. The Obama rats are jumping ship. If you see the top rats jumping, guess what, folks? It's really bad. And by the way, Alex, when we get off the air, we're going to make a donation as well. And I urge everyone out there to do everything you can. This is one of the best voices out there that brings so much together, really puts his neck on the line, and takes no prisoners. And he's a real man because he said it the way it is. He wouldn't hurt a fly. But if you attack him, be prepared to go to the end because he ain't going down. And how many politicians out there can say that? They're a bunch of wimps, these other guys. You know why they're tough? Because they have a phalanx of guards around them. So do what you can to bring this to another level. And it's tough times for everyone. But dollars or tens of dollars or 50s of dollars will help move this forward. And you can count on us and the people on our staff to donate, Alex.
Well, you're awesome, Gerald. Thank you so much. I just, it's hard not having the big globalist backing and all the taxpayer money that gets funneled and laundered to the mainstream media. That's now declassified. They said what? The Bush fake news scandal that was billions a year, over $10 billion, and the government accounting office and others said this is clearly illegal, but now it's even expanded, and we don't have that funding. We don't have the foundation funding. We don't have it. We do this once a year, and it's just scary, Gerald, to have the audience triple but see revenue go down. I mean, that lets you know how real the depression is when some of my favorite restaurants have closed and places I've been going since I was in high school are gone, and everybody I know is tightening their belt. And all these college graduates and even professionals and engineers I know, losing their jobs. And I live in one of the better cities in the country. And then the media told me 3 weeks ago, the Obama administration said that the recession ended in June of last year.
I know. You can't make this stuff up. The old Soviet Union days, you know, would have looked good compared to the propaganda that they're putting out now. And how about that vice president of propaganda, Joe Biden? What, did everybody miss it? This was the summer of recovery. How can they get away with this stuff over and over again? So, yeah, with the Trends Journal, we've said this, Alex, that this was the grasshopper and ant summer. The grasshoppers are still jumping around, looking at the stock market, a rigged game. And get this, 40% of the profits, by the way, are being made overseas. So these multinationals that you're seeing driving up the stock market, they ain't making the dough over here. And that's the other fallacy. I want to make this really clear. You think it's so great in China? Nah, nah, nah. When the U.S. collapses, when the giant falls, the earth will tremble. This is going global. And as it goes global, it's really going to get ugly. That newspaper record, the New York Times, which I call the toilet paper of record, because after all, they call what I do pessimism porn. When they had those major protests going on in Europe back in end of September, September 29th, the next day, this is on page 6, buried below a story about how bad Iran is, they had the story of the protests going on throughout all of Europe. Here's how it began, Alex. Madrid. Thousands of people took to the streets in protest in capitals throughout Europe. Thousands? Hey, man, 10 million alone in Spain. That's not a slip-up. That's a lie. That's propaganda. Thousands, it's not even hundreds of thousands. It was millions, tens of millions. The global system is collapsing. They're beating them up again today in Greece. They're still striking in France. Oh, and I love it how the Americans make fun of the French. You know, they have early retirement, and they're complaining they want to make it, they want to take it away from them. Oh, those French. Yeah, the French are smart. Go to France. It's one of the most, Paris is one of the most beautiful cities on earth. You know why? Because the people know the score. These are the people that invented the guillotine. They know how greedy the rich could become. So they say to themselves, look, we know you're doing all these deals out there. We just want our share. You can't be a Schwartzman in France. You can't be a Buffett in France. You can't be a Gates. You can't be a Munger, because you guys are ripping off the system and you're enslaving us, and we don't like it.
Well, people call the French wimps, but every time they try to plant GMO crops over there, the farmers just get up at night and they go out and burn it down. And
that's right, because they know what quality is. Look at the way they live. Look at what happened to this country. The people show up looking like pigs everywhere they go. Casual Fridays. How about everyday sloppy? What happened to the dignity? And until the people regain the dignity and respect, they're going to be walked over and trampled. You know why they don't demonstrate like they do over here, over here? You know why. Because they call the goon squads out. They put the guys up, the agents provocateurs in their black stocking faces, and go smash windows and burn cars to make it look like the people are unruly. The people are afraid in this country. They're afraid to speak out. And that's why people need to support you, because you speak out. and people like myself and Paul Craig Roberts and Chapman and Keiser. We're the voices out there, but we're not saying follow me. We're saying start thinking for yourself. Start taking measures. Become part of the 20% solution. Invent the future. Break the chains. This country could regain its greatness, Alex. I know it can, and that's the mission that we're on. To rejuvenate America, to bring it back to the spirit that we used to have. I know the stories about genocide, and I know the stories about how terribly we treated the blacks. I remember as a kid taking the ferry from Washington, the Chesapeake Bay ferry, and seeing the sign at 13 years old for whites only. I know about that. But having said all that, we were the greatest country on earth. We were a country of quality. Quality. We were the envy of the earth. We can rediscover a rebirth following the plague. Ale Romana e alla antica, in the manner of the Romans and the ancients. Let's bring back the greats that made this country great before and bring ourselves up from the snooky, stupid level that you hear the president talking about and these windbags on TV babbling about.
Beautifully said, Gerald Celente of TrendsResearch.com. And if you want to support us and be part of this fight, help and support people that are putting out, real information. Plus, you'll be helping yourself with the Trends Journal. I mean, that's the point. Look at the advice people get on the show. Look at the information. Look at the value. Some of you haven't put it into function. Many of you have and have thanked us. If you've gotten valuable information from this show, if you want to see it continue and expand, InfowarsMoneybomb.com or Infowars.com. Go and donate right now. We're doing very well. I'm very pleased, but we need to reach that goal here in the next 6 hours. InfowarsMoneybomb.com or 888-253-3139. 888-253-3139. Gerald, I'm going to give you about a 5-6 minute break. We're going to play a clip of Ron Paul from a speech he gave a few days ago. He was also here on the show, obviously, this week. We had Lou Dobbs earlier yesterday. It's still today because I'm still up here. And we're going to take about a 5-minute break with this video to give you a break and give myself a break. I'm drinking too much coffee here, and, well, you know what I got to do. So we're going to take care of that business. And then we're going to come back and get to every caller with your quick question or comment and a response from Gerald Celente. And, Gerald, I really appreciate you honoring us with your presence and all your time. We just appreciate your gravitas and your, down-home smarts and common sense. So Gerald Celente joining us via video Skype. We'll continue with this live 27-hour transmission in about 6 minutes when we come back. We'll talk to you then, Gerald.
Okay.
All right, here's Ron Paul.
So if we are for balanced budgets, as I assume we are, and if we're for limited government, you can't pick and choose. You can't say, well, let's cut this program, let's cut this program. We can cut the food stamps for the poor, but you don't cut the food stamps for the rich. You don't cut the food stamps for the overseas partners that we have. What you have to do is you cut government back to its constitutional size. That's what you need. I believe that's what the Tea Party movement's all about, is cutting it back to its size, believing in the Constitution. It is great. It's a 10th Amendment movement. Isn't this fantastic? Isn't it great that we're talking about sound money again and the gold standard? These are all wonderful things happening. Isn't it amazing that we're talking about the constitutional right for the states to nullify bad federal laws? This, to me, is rather amazing. I went to Congress quite a few years ago, and I believe my role would be to go and vote the way I promised, the way the Constitution says, even if I would be alone, and that not much would happen, that it would be probably not noticed, and someday I would go back home and hopefully leave a record that people would notice someday in the future. Today, though, I am pleasantly surprised to find out there are so many of you who really care, and you're sick and tired of what you have in Washington, D.C.